So now that we've went through 6.3 and 6.4, that was the FOIL method and the ARCH method, let's do some sample questions that you might see on the test. So notice we're up to question number 7. 1 through 6 came through 6.1 and 6.2. So question 7, and then the rest are going to come through 6.3 and 6.4 that we're going to do today. So the first question I have up here is going to have the directions factor completely. Again, that doesn't really tell us anything. It doesn't really tell you, oh yeah, you gotta do shortcut. Oh yeah, you gotta do ARCH. Oh yeah, you gotta do GCF. So we always told you, remember, step 1, when it says factor completely, see if there's a GCF. So remember, we're always looking to see if there's a GCF. GCF, do we have the same letter? No. Do we have the same number? They all have a number. So if you start doing a tree diagram, you probably realize 9 is 3 and 3. 22 is 2 and 11. Yeah, all 3's and a 2 and 11, there's nothing that matches here. If there's nothing that matches these two, doesn't matter what the third number is. Does it have a minus sign in front? No. So there's no GCF. No GCF. But we had to check. Next. How many terms are left over? Well, we have them all left over, and there's 3 of them. So that tells me, we can either do the 3 that we learned, shortcut, ARCH, FOIL. But because there's a number in front, that automatically eliminates the shortcut. So between FOIL or ARCH, you decide. I prefer ARCH, so I'm going to do the ARCH. ARCH, remember, is take the 2 numbers, the coefficient and the constant, and multiply. When you multiply, we're going to get an answer of 72. That's step 1. Step 2, do all the combos of that answer of 72. 1 and 72, 2 and 36, 3 and 24, 4 and 18, 5 doesn't go in there evenly, 6 and 12, 7 doesn't, 8 does, 9 does, but it's already on the board. And all I did was divide each one of them in the calculator to make sure it goes in as a whole number. If it goes as a remainder or decimal, do not put it up here. When you're done step 2, now we got to determine what we're going to do here. Add or subtract? Well, let's look at the last sign. It's a plus, so step 3 says we're going to add our combos. Each one's going to give you a unique answer. Find one that matches. We need a 22. 22. So that means this can factor out. So step 4, choose. Now that I chose, we're halfway done. Step 5, split. Remember, 22a is going to be split to 2 new terms with 2 different coefficients. So instead of having 22, goodbye, we're going to have a 4 and we're going to have an 18. Now that we have the coefficients, you need to have variables. We can't use them as constants. So whatever this is, your variable part, bring it down to both of them. Remember I told you, can't be 4, has to be 4a. Coefficient and a letter. Now that we know it's 4a and 18a, we got to make sure we have some signs here. Remember, when it's a plus sign, it has to be the same signs. So when you do the same signs, you're going to put a plus and a plus. You might be saying, why 2 pluses? Why not 2 negatives? Well, remember, the 18 is the bigger number. Shoot up the ladder. Notice it's a plus. Perfect. We know that these had to be the same signs. If 18 is a plus, then the 4 has to be a plus since they're the same. Bring down the first term. Bring down the last term. When you have this, notice it's turned into 4 terms. Please do not add these together because you'll just get the original. We want to keep it as 4 terms The reason why is because we're going to now do the grouping method. Parentheses around the first two, parentheses around the last two. Here you can pull out a GCF of A. So you're left with 9A plus 4. Remember, I just divide each one by A. And here, I'm going to divide each one by the GCF. Hopefully you recognize it's going to be 2. Because this is positive, divide by a positive 2 for each one of these guys. Notice your leftovers would be 9A, and then 8 divided by 2 would be positive 4. These must match because you found a combo that works. Final step of grouping is take these, write it as one set of parentheses, and then take the A and the plus 2 and make it the other set of parentheses. And there you go. That's your answer to sample question number 7.